Hey, greetings and salutations, everybody. Dave Duford here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. You are back for another David Duford show where we talk all things insurance, sales, and marketing, and I answer your questions live. It is Tuesday, February 25th, 2020, and thank you guys so much for joining. So if this is your first time joining, go ahead and post your questions in the YouTube chat below. I will get to them momentarily and answer anything and everything relevant to helping you sell more insurance. So, special announcement I want to make getting started. I'm actually going to be doing boot camps, one-day conference called Bootcamp. So what I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to put you over to my desktop screen here. Okay, and then the web page for this is davidduford.com/boot-camps. And I've kind of had the realization how important it is to do training events. So we did one on Friday. It was a great success. I really enjoyed it. And I just want to do a lot more. And anytime I do something that's good, I go off the deep end and do even more. So that is the what's happened here, the premise of what's happened here. So let me tell you more about it, how it works, and what to expect. So right now, I've lined up 2 dates before summer really begins. May 29th, I'm going to be in Las Vegas. June 26th, I'm going to be in Orlando, Florida. Price here is $100. I'm trying to keep this intentionally cheaper just to facilitate more people to come in. I'm purposely making this a smaller group. I'm not going to have any more than 50 people attend. So these prices, I would say, are pretty good. So a little bit about what to expect. So basically, it is a one-day conference call where different speakers come up and talk about different topics related to different insurance niches. For example, we're going to have Scott Bradley and Stephen Burgess on different occasions to talk annuities, how to find annuities, how to close annuities, seminars, do and don'ts when you do annuity sales. We're also going to have Luis Moreno to talk about the Medicare Advantage opportunity that all of us have access to and just give us some basic training. We also have a few carrier reps in to do some training on some popular products that we may want to write or are already writing and want some more clarification on. We actually had Prosperity in and talked with them. And of course, your humble host, El Jefe, will be there as well. Basically just emceeing it and occasionally doing a speaking engagement as well. We'll have other speakers on, more being announced as we go through it. So why would you want to come to this? Because it's a great networking event. It's really designed for those people who want to network and speak with the speakers and have a more intimate setting. So looking at what is available in the conference world and the insurance sales side, everything is kind of like a mega conference or a big conference. Me, if you know me personally, I'm kind of a small group guy. I prefer the intimacy of a smaller group. So what we're doing with these is I'm intentionally going to do more of these throughout the year. I'm definitely going to do more than just the 2 here. These are just the ones we've got planned so far. But the goal is to provide a venue at an affordable price for you to come in, get great training, and hopefully advance your career in selling insurance. Again, you don't have to be an agent of mine. You can be an agent with somebody else. That is entirely fine. Or you can just not have an agency and you're just kind of curious about the business overall. So, we're going to have a couple of social opportunities as well. The night before, we'll have kind of an informal gathering of people that come in. We'll actually have an open bar. That will be the night after the conference is over, and then there will be some freebies too. I'm lining up some discounts on leads, raffling off some leads, not weed. Maybe I'll do that in Colorado, but not Nevada. Maybe do they do it out there? I don't know. Anyways, it'll be a lot of fun, and the website that you want to go to is right here. Hey, Maddie, what's going on? The website you want to go to is right here, davidduford.com/bootcamps. Please reserve a spot. Again, I'm not going to open it up to any more than 50 people. I anticipate that this will book out. We've got a lot of great speakers, a lot of great knowledge, and there's definitely a need for this kind of niche in the speaking world for insurance sales training. So if you like what I do, you'll like what we do face-to-face. So again, my advice to you, or at this point, if you've got questions, please feel free to go ahead and ask them in the chat below. As we are awaiting questions, I'm actually going to pull up a question that I had from an agent of mine, Thomas. Thomas is doing very well selling predominantly final expense. He does sell some non-med, simplified issue stuff as well to younger audiences. And here's his question. What's going on, Dave? One thing I have not seen you or anyone else talk about is paper management and workflow management. A process that shows an agent how to bring a paper app home and process it for his or her records, file cabinets, secure hard drive, scrubbing apps. Even with e-apps, you still have the PDF version of the app that you should easily be accessible to an agent in the event service work happens. So this is a really good topic to talk about. Again, one of the things you're going to hear a lot more from me is the importance of following up on your clientele. If there's one thing I didn't do very well when I was full-time in the field, it was following up with my clientele on a regular 1 to 2 year, twice a year basis. For additional sales opportunities, as well as what I'm going to really be focusing and encouraging agents to do is for the Medicare passive income renewal opportunity. Your final expense clients are generally all on a fixed income, drawing Social Security, therefore on Medicare. They make great Medicare prospects. And some of the easiest people to sell more insurance to are the ones already bought from you, right? So it pays to keep records, like Thomas said here. So how do you do it effectively? So the first things first is you always need to keep a copy of the application with you. The worst thing you can do is send off an app and not have some hard copy or electronic copy. Why is that the case? Well, what if the company goes out of business? For example, Settlers got out of the final expense business. I don't know if you can access the old applications or the old client list that were available online, but there are companies I've done business with that pulled out of the market, and I have no way to get to my customer list if that was the only way that I had stored my information, right? So you need to do an on-site, at-home, or at-office storing of your paperwork. I would recommend a digital store. Make sure you back it up with some sort of secure hard drive. You want redundancy, meaning it's okay to have multiple saves of the same file in case one of the systems crashes. Again, one is the loneliest number in this business. So that helps overcome that. Also, as far as organizing it, the best thing you can do, now you can do this manually. Over time, as you get busier, you can find a very affordable virtual assistant online that can type all this information in on the client, their company they're with, the coverage amount, the rate, what Medicare coverage they have, and they'll do it all for you for super cheap. And then create either a CRM. I keep it simple. I use Google Spreadsheets to keep track of my clients and paid somebody else to put it all on there. And then we would just call down that list. So it's better, though, if you use a simple CRM. Like I like one-page CRM or lessannoyingcrm.com for both. Just because they're inexpensive, they're like $10 a month. And you can manage everything within that software. And it's web-based, so you can access it from different devices of yours. So, as far as scrubbing apps, if you're still taking home paper apps, my recommendation is before scanning it and uploading a digital copy to your computer, scrub the thing 3 times, okay? I would literally sit down with an application, go line by line, looking down at each of the details, taking my time, resisting the urge to rush through it, right? And then take the page over and do the same thing. And then after I did that, I would make the corrections, set it over here in another pile. Once I got done with my first scrubbing, I would go back through it and look at it maybe a little less closely, but just in case I missed anything. And then there are many times where if I didn't do that second scrub, I would run into all sorts of situations to try to recover from, having to go back out and do amendments, having to go back out and see the client sell the deal. And yes, I lost deals because I wasn't thorough on the scrubbing part. So don't scrub with distractions. Find a quiet space. I used to do it first thing in the morning, like 5 to 7 o'clock in the morning, just because that's your money. That's your bank deposit. You don't want to screw that up. Okay, cool. So continuing on, Thomas says, that's where I'm at now. I got a file cabinet full of apps, paper apps, and I'm having to dig through to do service work. I'm still trying to come up with a predictable process. The way my office set up now is it makes process labor intense. But I think it's a good topic, especially new agents who don't have over 200 apps sitting around looking at them. Yeah. Yeah, again, kind of the CRM strategy here is prior preparation leads to success. If you get used to the process of inputting data into a CRM or paying somebody else to do it, it gets done. Otherwise, it will pile up. One of my friends in the business, Lee Martinez out of California, he always used to say, I've got 4 filing cabinets, with 4 different drawers stuffed full with people that I've sold insurance to over the last 30 years. And his strategy, talk about simple, is he would just randomly take a stack and start calling through his clients and just checking in to see how they're doing, ask them about beneficiaries if they're happy, and then, oh, by the way, ask for referrals. So, any system is better than no system. The one thing you want to avoid is overcomplicating these types of CRM systems and management systems. It doesn't need to be overly complicated. It shouldn't take a lot of time of yours to process applications and input them. And I would argue as soon as you're making money in this business and you've got excess left over after paying your bills, it is a wise investment to find somebody who will actually do this kind of grunt work. It is not the activity that pays us the most. What pays us the most is what we need to spend all of our time doing as feasible as possible. And what is that, guys? That is selling in front of your clients, seeing the people, right? We want to outsource the activities that aren't necessarily critical to our success. They're not so much critical. They're definitely critical to scrub an app. But somebody else can be taught to do that for an affordable price. All right, there we go. Got great questions here. Hey, Norma, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Hey, FFL, protect what matters. David, will you have time for annuity question today? Yeah, sure, Gene. Go for it. Go for it and ask, and then I'll try to do my best. If not, I'll defer to one of my pros to assist. Alvin Johnson, is it best to lead with Medicare or final expense? Excellent question. Both strategies work. The question becomes, what do you do best with? We, in our organization, have taught final expense to transition into the Medicare Advantage space. And time and again, what all of them say is the experienced final expense agents all say, wow, this is a lot easier to get appointments. People are more willing to talk about Medicare than final expense. And the reason is because Medicare is a tangible good. Everybody knows what it feels like to pay a certain amount at co-pays at the doctor or, paid medical bills. Life insurance, you got to kick the bucket before it becomes any good. And you have to pay all these money for all these years. It's a conceptually intangible product. So I think because this is tangible, it leads more people to be concerned. Plus, Medicare does change for Medicare Advantage, especially year over year. So there is a vested interest in doing it. So of the options, I think Medicare is an easier way to get in the door. But final expense, the big benefit to selling final expense and why most agents start with that is because the first year driven commission relative to the kind of year-long strategies we teach is better with final expense and not as good with Medicare. But of course, Medicare is a renewal-driven product. That's what you want to focus on. Hope that it kind of answered your question, Alvin. Thanks for asking. Hey, Paul, what's up? If I get into Medicare, would I sell supplement or also Advantage? Okay, so both, I would say. Medicare supplements, you need to sell both because you will run into circumstances where they return the leads back. You're trying to get Medicare Advantage business, but they happen to have a supplement, okay? So a lot of the times you want to be prepared for both. Now, if you just go after supplement business, you may not want to carry Medicare Advantage if that's your shtick. Not everybody wants to do both. Some just want to focus on a core product and just do Medicare supplements, let's say. But if you're in the field, it's just smart, especially if you're already selling Medicare Advantage, just to pick up the Medicare supplement contracts. Because some people that's what they want. They've already got a supplement. They're tired of paying too much, but they don't want to lose their coverage. They still like it. So sell them a cheaper one. Replace the existing coverage. I think that's a good strategy. All right, so Yogi Bear, what's up, man? For starting out, I'm doing Aflac. So what is this top 3 things to do to get money? I don't have a warm list for calls. Good question. All right, I'll give you the top 3 things right here. See the people, see the people, and see the people, okay? You have no other purpose from sunrise to sunset then see as many prospects as humanly possible. And what you will find is you will develop a kind of metric or numbers or averages from the approaches that you make. And then from there, you can start to project what kind of activity you've got to do on the front end to get the back end kind of income that your goal is. Now, what kind of activity is that? I don't know. Everybody's slightly different. I generally tell agents that the best starting goal for a full-time agent is 15 completed appointments a week. If you can do 15 completed appointments a week, whether you're selling Aflac, you're doing employee benefits type stuff, final expense, Medicare, annuities, mortgage protection, if you can do 15 appointments a week, it's pretty assured your money problems will be a thing of the past. You'll do generally well. So what does it take to get 15 appointments? Well, that's where you got to put this front effort in. Kind of along with that, what I would also recommend that you would think about or consider is let me see your question here. Yeah. Call on business owners. Okay. I think you're already taught to do that. Business owners are a great market. Don't be perturbed by the fact that everybody's going to say they've talked to an Aflac agent. There's a lot of people that haven't talked to an Aflac agent. Keep seeing them. Also go after new businesses. You should be able to get some source locally of new business listings. Go see those people. Okay. They don't have benefits. Those are great prospects as well. And you're getting in on the front end with those prospects. Omar, hey, what's up? El Jefe. That's me, by the way, guys. I have a question. How do you handle the objection? I didn't request any info when you're working age leads. Not sure where the leads came from. I didn't request any info. Hey, that's okay. A lot of people say that, Mrs. Jones, but the reason they meet with me anyway is because they want to see what kind of new programs are available to make sure they get the best options. All I need is 5 minutes to show you how this works. What you do with the information's up to you. And how would Tuesday or is 2 better? Tuesday at 2 or would 10 be better? There you go. So you just want to address it, say, hey, that's fine. I hear that a lot. But the reason people meet with me anyway is because whatever reason. And then you go into selling the appointment, okay? This process works really for any objection. I already got life insurance. Send me something in the mail. Blah, 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 blah. You can use that same process, change some of the verbiage to reflect better of what the particular objection is. And then understand the reason we do that kind of objection is that people sometimes are lying or telling us half-truths or not being fully truthful, or possibly they're just not interested in meeting with us, right? So they're just buyer's remorse kind of thing. So you have to hear things differently than what you're said. So that's why it sounds strange, like, well, she said she doesn't remember. How can I explain that's okay? Well, you do that anyway because you have to get through that process because a lot of people are just pushing you off. And if you give a little push back, in many cases, people will relent and then give you the appointment. Hey, Dennis Jordan, I'm ready to buy your course now. I'm sold. Okay, which course are you talking about? Hopefully the Bootcamp in Las Vegas. Again, for you guys that are latecomers, I am doing a boot camp one-day event in Las Vegas on May 29th, as well as in Orlando, Florida on June 22nd. It's a one-day event. I'm going to have somewhere between 5 and 6 speakers talk about different subjects with insurance training. This is not a rah-rah meeting. This is a training meeting. I want my agents and anybody that attends, you don't have to be an agent of mine to attend. I want you to walk out of this thinking, wow, I know a lot more and I feel more confident that I can actually achieve success in this business. And it's a great opportunity to network. We're going to do an open bar at the end of the meeting, a couple hours later at least. We'll have an informal get-together the day before. You'll get to speak with all the speakers, talk with them. Again, subjects include agency building, annuities, Medicare, final expense, carrier training. If you're looking for that kind of thing, this event's going to be great. And the nice thing is it's inexpensive. I'm not charging a lot of money. I just want to do enough to cover my costs so I can meet you guys face-to-face and hopefully give you some face-to-face value. I'm telling you, I'm great at doing videos, as you already know. But I'm telling you, face-to-face training is exponentially better. Okay, if you can even just in attendance, you will open your mind to different opportunities. You'll get more excited. So I can't obviously sell it enough for you to go. So if you're wondering where to go, I just put the link in the chat below. Feel free to go there if that's something you're interested in. Yogi Bear also, is it smart to hire someone for a day or two to cold call for you? Yeah, it could be. I think there's value in cold calling, at least over the short run, because it gives you an in the trenches experience and feel of the business, right? You get to experience what the objections are. You get to experience what kind of the resistance is, what people say. It makes you a better salesperson. And then it's easier to train somebody to cold call, right, when you already have done it for a while, okay? But yeah, what you want to do is once you get busy enough, this kind of goes back to my earlier conversation, you want to outsource some components of your business to other people. You want to do the one core competency you do best as much as humanly possible. And for sales agents and insurance business, it's seeing people face to face, selling them insurance. So that means outsource appointment setting or outsource cold calling, outsource administrative work. Make your life all about seeing the people. That's where we want to get to ideally, and that can be accomplished early in your career. But obviously, you got to scale up to that point. If you're not to that point, don't worry. You just got to put the time in. You've got to put the effort in. It's completely normal. A lot of this business, the success that people have, is simply because they survived, not because they have any sort of vast, larger intellect or whatever. Okay, cool. Moro, hey, what's up? What are the compliance to make a CRM compliant for HIPAA? I do not know. I don't know. I have no clue. That's a really good question. You may want to ask the CRM about that. I don't really know how to answer that. I've never thought about that, actually. Lisa Brown, hey, what's up? Hi, how do you handle clients that say they have insurance through the military even though they filled out a mortgage protection lead? Military insurance rates are cheap, even though I've never... So, okay, some of you vets can inform me here on the proper terminology. There is an insurance product that you can get upon honorable discharge from the military, and I think it's up to like $400,000 or some amount. They do. I think you have to pay for it to a certain extent, but it's not totally comprehensive, I would argue. So what I would argue, or I should say, sell the person on, is that your insurance with the military is great. Congratulations, you were smart enough to buy some. But here's the thing: that was when you were young. That's when you didn't have a family. That's when you didn't have the risks of you dying and then leaving your loved ones behind. $400,000 ain't a lot of money, okay? You'll burn through that in a couple of years. That's what always happens. What you need to do is get more coverage to compensate for the income discrepancy if you would pass away. So I'm not asking you to get rid of what you got. You did very well and you should keep it. Let's add more to it to maximize your coverage for, God forbid, if something happens to you or your spouse earlier than expected. So I would do something like that. Still sell the need. Again, some people think falsely, these are just false perceptions, right? We have to educate our clients otherwise. We have to, that a certain amount of coverage is good. Oh, I got $100,000 in insurance. Really? And you make what, $100,000 a year? So you're going to let your family live a year? And then what are they going to do? Your spouse makes $50,000 and go down from $150,000 to $50,000. What's going to happen? So you have to take them through the process of what will happen. Ask them that as much. So what do you think will happen when you run out of that life insurance? What's your family's going to do? Are your kids going to go to the school they want? Are you going to be able to maintain the house and the mortgage payment? How would you feel about that if that actually happened? Paint the picture. As I always like to say, you must have the prospect picture the hearse backed up against the front porch. All right? They have to see literally the end. Okay, that's life insurance sales of any kind that you sell. You have to paint the picture of urgency because everybody downplays it, including us, right? Dying is for old people. No, it's not. It's for everybody, and just don't know when it's going to happen. So hopefully that helps. Okay, Omar. Also, I know it's an independent agent and it's very important to have a personal website. But what about when you're a captive agent? What you're going to run into, I think, if you're captive is a lot more resistance. That's been my experience. Especially if you brand outside of the captive branding, okay? Just ask your upline or ask your agency, do they have support for like a branded website? A lot of the captive agencies do. But they may have a problem with using their name on your website or what you talk about. They're going to have some kind of leverage over you contractually based on your agent contract in most cases. So it's not as easy as it would be if you're an independent agent, I would believe. I don't know for sure. But it's not a bad idea to build a website and, just so you have like a running advertisement for yourself, right? So people can see you 24/7, learn more about you. Melchor Gallo. Hey, Dave, it's Mel. What's up, Mel? Here, do you need the health and license? Yes, you do need a health insurance license to sell Medicare Advantage, number one. But you must also get what's called AHIP training. AHIP training is a federally required certification course. You must pass with a 90%. It's very detailed. You learn everything about Medicare. And its purpose for the AHIP is to basically be a firewall, a barrier to entry. Not everybody that takes AHIP is going to pass it. Okay, only those who study and who are focused enough to get through it will. And why does the government do this? Because they don't want just any agent selling these plans. They don't want seniors to be screwed, for lack of a better description. So yes, you got to do that and AHIP. Minash, hey, what's up? Brand new agent. Sorry for the newbie question. Hey, that's why you're here. No problem. How do you get good leads for Medicare Advantage or MedSup or DSNP? Leads not turning 65 or turning X list. Thank you. Good question. Medicare Advantage leads. You can get Medicare Advantage leads from final expense leads. You can get Medicare Advantage prospects, I should say. You can get Medicare Advantage leads through us. We've got a really good program where we subsidize leads from our starting point's $25 a lead for brand new agents. But as you develop a conversion average over 90 days, we'll reduce the price of that lead. So if you're writing 25% of your leads as business, Medicare Advantage, we'll take the lead from $25 to $10 a lead. And that's super helpful, especially doing DSNP, the SEP market, which we're intimately involved in, because as you know, commissions prorate over time for that first year. So if we can help offset that price for you, it makes a big difference, right? So I would say one of those would be great. Medicare supplements, telemarketing leads work really good. We've got a really good Medicare supplement vendor. Definitely direct mail works well too. I like Lead Concepts, Need a Lead. I don't know if they got Medicare, but Lead Concepts does. I think that would be definitely one worth considering. Hopefully that helps. If you got any follow-up questions, let me know. Ben, hey, what's up, Ben? I signed up yesterday for Medicare sales program. When should I hear from someone? Are you talking about the pre-contracting link, Ben? And then let me know. Again, I can't remember everything. Did you complete AHIP? Did you do all that? If you just want to send me an email and kind of describe me where you're at, I'll follow up and make sure it gets done. Glenn Brown. Glenn, what's up? Where can one learn the most popular prescription drugs? So by being with prospects, our final expense prospects. Every carrier, well, not all, most carriers have a prescription drug guide. 80% of the drugs that you're going to see are commonly prescribed medications. So, for example, lisinopril, metformin, atorvastatin, metformin, insulin, carvedilol, Coumadin, warfarin, nitroglycerin, isosorbate mononitrate. All these drugs I've seen a bajillion times. Okay, so and then what you'll find is not nearly as overwhelming to know because you always have these prescription guides to check. You can also just Google search everything that you see too. So the only reason I know anything about these meds is just a repetition in front of the clients. It comes down to just selling people. Maddie, hey, how are you compared to Family Life? You'd have to, best thing you can do is I'm going to send you to my webpage and then I will let you judge for yourself. I am not nearly as big, but I am very training centered and oriented. I am told my commissions are really good relative to other competition. Also, I am passionate about helping you become a top producer, but in an independent type of way, so that you're not hamstrung to an agency for any reason. So, and I'm not a multi-level marketing oriented agency. I support my agents recruiting. Don't get me wrong. I have their back, but my focus has always been, let's take an agent, let's help them become producers, and let's not put 5-10 people between you and me so that all those people are getting fed and not doing a damn thing for you while you're out there working. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So check that out there. Sorry to self-promote a little too much, y'all. But you ask, so I'm giving it to you. Go there and check it out. That should be helpful. David Stevenson, how do we learn to do the electronic apps? Okay, depends on the company. Most companies with an e-app have some kind of PowerPoint slide presentation that will walk you through it. The Prosperity interview I did the other day, half of that training was on the e-app. So check those PowerPoint slides. I can send them to you if you'd like. But just call each marketing department. That's probably the best thing. Call each marketing department and say, hey, I want to sell e-apps. Can you walk me through what to do and how to do it? What you'll find is once you do a couple of them, they're all pretty much the same to get easy and not too complicated. Morrow, in general, you say there's a 20 to 25% close rate for effects, final expense. But what's the approximate close rate for annuities from MedSup leads, and how many of those would you sell? How many of those would you sell a MedSup to? It's going to be conversion rates off of leads are going to be, again, not close rate conversion. So if I buy 100 leads, I would like to sell, depending on the lead, 15 to 25 Medicare supplements. Okay, that's would be my thing. Out of 100 leads, if I sold a handful of annuities, I would be happy. We're talking 2, 3, maybe 4. And that's going to vary, and it's okay because annuities isn't a volume business. It is a multi-step process in closing. And, the money moves a lot slower with annuities relative to others. There's less opportunity for it, but you can have a deal that pays you, $30,000, $40,000. Stephen Burgess wrote close to $2 million in a day. He's probably somewhere on the beach, unreachable until August when he's come back and work a little more. But all joking aside, that's the kind of thing. So the bigger the payoff, the harder it is. I don't say harder, it's just less common that you come across it. So it's definitely a lot less than selling a one-call close product like MedSups or Final Expense. Okay, cool, Lisa. Yeah, come on and join us. It should be a good time. I think you'd like it. Hey, Craig, I have an appointment tomorrow to sell a whole life policy through Liberty Bankers for $65,000 with a monthly premium of $214. I should know this, but how do I figure commission on that? Call the company, ask what their commission is. I think you're probably talking about the Flex for Life product. I don't think you're looking at the regular, simple, standard, or preferred product, right? Because they tap out on face amount, I think, at $30,000. So there's kind of like a non-med whole life. Make sure before you submit it there that this client actually can qualify for it. If you're taking a final expense person with some issues and drugs, you're going to find out it's a lot harder to get a non-med app in many cases through. They got to be, squeaky clean when it comes to their health. But yeah, so, it would be what the annual premium is on your policy. So, looking at it, it's $214 a month. So let's call it $2,500 times whatever percentage. Again, it can vary. So much one here and so much in another place. So can't say for sure. All right. Who else we got here? Is there any audio? I sure hope so. Hey, Harvey, turn your speakers up. It's probably what it is. Hey, Bev. Hi, I'm extremely interested in joining your team. I have no license or certification, but I'm assuming that is required state by state. How do I acquire certification? Yeah, real simple. If you go to the Department of Insurance for your state, so if you live in Tennessee like me, Tennessee Department of Insurance, how to take a life insurance exam or how to get your life insurance license, you should be brought to a series of steps that you need to follow through in order to get your appointments. Now, what I'm going to dig up here is kind of an overview article. It's going to be posted in the chat below, and it is kind of a step-by-step process in doing exactly what you're describing. So how do you get a license? What do you need to do? How do you study? What about pre-licensing? What about studying? All that's answered in that web link if you'd like to go to it. And that should help. But it's pretty straightforward. You just take the exam and study for it first, and then boom, you got your license. Hey, FFL, Protect What Matters. Thanks for another question. I've sold fixed and variable annuities for years. I'm very comfortable with the sales process, especially fixed index annuity. That's what FIA means. In your experience, what are the best type of annuity leads and anything you would avoid? That's a great question. The best type of annuity lead, I could be tongue-in-cheek about it, but in all seriousness, we don't care so much who we're talking to. All right, let me rephrase. I want to be in front of a certain group of people. In my business, we want to target people 65 to 75, 80-ish. that have assets or that own a home. We don't care really too much about the income. We don't care even if they know or not. We're going to come talk to them about annuities. That's the thing. Our strategy, now we're testing different strategies as well, is we use different lead programs, different setups to get us an appointment, and then we take that appointment and then transition it into a fact finder or a conversation about Medicare or Medicare-related concerns, which gives us the opportunity to talk about assets and protection of those assets, which gets us to the annuity, right? So we just want to be in front of the right people. Would you use final expense leads if you wanted to get annuities? Probably not. Would you use Medicare supplement leads to get annuity prospects? Absolutely. So with that process is how we find the annuities. We don't care what it says as much as making sure we're in front of the right people. Does that make sense? Now, there are leads out there, like we've got a lead program where it doesn't say anything about annuities on the direct mail card, but it talks about every concern that an annuity can address. And people fill it out just like final expense, send it back in the mail. Those are a little expensive, $50 to $55 a lead, but they're not that expensive if you can write $200,000 or $300,000 a month on them and you make 6% plus commission. So there are that if you want a more direct lead with concerns specifically related to what normally an annuity solves. All right, here come the questions. Yeah, and good time to ask some questions. I'm going to be wrapping up here in a few minutes. Omar, hey, what's up? The military is able to get VGLI veterans group insurance, max $400,000 coverage. It's a 5-year term renewal policy, and premium can go up to $1,800 a month by $870. Perfect. Thank you for putting that out there, Omar. So yeah, hey, goes up to $1,800 a month. Do you want a plan that's going to do that to you with the military or not? And if you show them that and obviously print off some forms, always have this handy, especially if you happen to run into a lot of military vets with this kind of concern or question, is show them the rates, show them what it says so that you can sell them out at the door and sell what you do. Yeah, thank you, Rob. Absolutely. Thank you as well. So many great questions from everyone. This is great. Yeah, that's what we're here for. I'm passionate about you getting knowledge. Knowledge is power. That's how you become successful in this business. If you haven't noticed, there is a lack of training in this business. Everybody's concerned about one thing. Do you have a pulse? Can you fog this mirror? If you can, you're hired. And you're not even going to believe how fast you're driving a Ferrari. So it's kind of eye-rolling. But hey, it is what it is. Okay, Yogi Bear, can you please explain the difference between first-year commissions and second-year, first-time applications? So when we talk about first-year commissions on any insurance product, it's what you make in the first year. But then there are what we call renewal commissions. Some products are more heavily weighted towards first-year commission, and other products are more heavily weighted towards renewal commission. You usually don't get the best of both worlds. You get one or the other. So, for example, my agency, we predominantly target final expense, or I should say the senior market, people 50, 60, and older. Final expense is a decent first-year driven product as far as commission goes. It's paltry when it comes to renewals. We're talking 4, 5, 6, 7% on average. Nothing to get in a heat about. However, if you cross-sell eventually Medicare Advantage, well, now you're going to make $255 on replacement Medicare Advantage sales for the rest of the client's life, as long as they stay on the books, of course. So the money's lower for that first year commission. But if you keep a person on the books for 10 years, you've made $22,550 versus maybe an average $600 final expense sale. So hopefully you can see kind of where the benefit comes from here. Ideally, what you want to do, it depends on your situation. A lot of agents start with final expense because it is a faster pay. It's a higher first-year pay, and people need to make money yesterday. That's okay. That's normal. It's how I got into it. And then they get into Medicare over time because it's slow money, but it's the kind of money that all agents want, which is a passive stream of income. Whether you do it completely at one point or just diversify and do both is fine. But I think it's important to get to that point. Everybody who's been in this business that has some kind of passive generation of income, whether it be like me through agency development, or like Christopher Westfall through Medicare supplement sales, or like agents in our group to sell Medicare Advantage, that is an ideal place to be. To disconnect your ability to make an income from actually doing any kind of field work is incredible. it really gives you the oft expressed but rarely experienced lifestyle type of business where you can take the foot off the gas for a month more maybe and vacation, go travel, do things you love, spend time with family, and make good money too. So there's my appeal to you long term is look into that direction, as I think it will be most profitable and successful and satisfying. All right. Yes, Flex for Life. You're welcome, Craig. No problemo. Keep trying to get to the end of these questions, but more come. Hey, Rich, what's up? I would join you in a heartbeat, but you don't do telesales. Yeah, I don't do telesales. I end up referring everybody that wants to do telesales to two different organizations. First is Digital BGA. They are a great organization. They are probably the best option for telesales. I really like what they do. I wish I could partner with them and get some kind of referral relationship going with them, just because I end up sending a lot of people to them. And that's okay. I'm fine with that. But they just do a good job. Why not? Also, Premier Producers Group is good as well. They're a little bit different. They do inbound leads, which a lot of people like, have a lot of the same carriers. They're both independent in function. Check them both out if you're interested in telesales. Now, both Premier Producers Group and Digital BGA both do final expense. Digital BGA also offers term sales over the phone, so like a mortgage protection lead, that kind of thing. Bobby Walters Insurance, what's up? When selling Medicare supplement and buying direct mail leads, how far in advance should the lead be bought before age? Yeah, I don't know, because what we do in our system is we don't target the turning 65 market. I believe, and what we believe, is that the turning 65 market is incredibly saturated. There's a ton of people dropping a ton of mail to all these poor seniors, and they're more confused and concerned and worried with every passing day. I have heard success 3 months out, 5 months out. I've even heard people do like 6 or 7 months out. But the thing is that a lot of people get overwhelmed with the influx of information on their Medicare that they procrastinate on making a decision. Should I go with Medicare Advantage? Should I go with Medicare Supplement? Should I go with Aetna, United Healthcare, Humana? I'll just think about it later. Whereas what we target are people who've already made a decision that Medicare Advantage is right. So we're not trying to sell them on why Medicare Supplement's better. We're just going to sell them on why our plan that we may offer is a better deal and gives better benefits. Okay, I think that's a simpler sale. Same thing with Medicare Supplements. It's kind of the, for Medicare Advantage, it's the DSNP or special election period market. For Medicare Supplement, it's the turning 67 and older market. And we're just going after people that have already bought and already are paying for Medicare Supplement. And we're just showing them how to save money with all the same benefits of getting a new one. And then Medicare Advantage, of course, just looking for opportunities to improve coverage. So I don't know if that answers the question, but I tried. Hey, Maddie, how do I join your agency? I'm licensed in the state of Florida, 2020, 2015. I'm glad you asked. Let me go ahead and post my website, davidduford.com. Checks in the mail. If you go there, click Join Dave's Agency, then you will see kind of some beginning material. I'm learning more about how my agency works. So again, my focus, so you know, is final expense, Medicare, annuities. We do some Medicare supplements. We do some mortgage protection. But the senior market is where my focus is going to be for my foreseeable career. I just think there is so much money to be made in this. We haven't even started. Look, there's 10, 11,000 seniors a day turning 65 a day. All I need is 1,000 of those clients. That's what I'd be thinking if I was in your position brand new. 1,000 is going to pay me $250,000 a year on renewal basis in Medicare Advantage, and then to a certain extent Medicare Supplements in most states. So and there are more people who are turning seniors. They're going to have more concerns about money. They see the stock market like it's done the last 2 days. They see their portfolios drop. They can't afford outliving their money. They got to make sure the money's safe. There's your annuity opportunities. And more people are getting to retirement age with much less money than they thought, some with none, which is why we sell them final expense. That's not changing. In fact, that's accelerating. So there's just going to be more opportunity in the senior kind of lower income to middle class, middle market area. Hey, Norma, which carriers offer telesales voice applications? So Prosperity Life does, Liberty Bankers Life does. Help me out here, y'all. A couple others do. American Memorial does. American Amicable in some context. Maybe they go through Pioneer Life. They do there. There's a few others. I'll let the audience answer. I don't really know for sure. I know some that do voice authorization apps, but you have to be face-to-face. I'm assuming that you have to be like third-party. They're somewhere else. You're at your office, that kind of thing. Okay, Mike, about companies like Colonial Penn, beside the fact that they only give you the first 2 years plus, and it's actually 7% interest, not 10% interest, should you pass away in the first years, is there any reason not to stay away from them? I don't understand. So, like when I run into a Colonial Penn and it's within 2 years, I'm going to replace that 8, 9 out of 10 times, almost always. Why? Because if, and this assumes, the client can qualify for first day full coverage, why would they want a plan that won't live up to their expectations if they suddenly die? And every senior knows somebody who was otherwise healthy that dropped dead, okay? And the reality is, if you're a mature person, you realize that we don't know when our final day is going to be. So I attack the Colonial Penn all day long. I attack the AARP New York Life that cancels at 80 with rate increases. My fixed income seniors cannot tolerate rate increases. And what if they outlive it, for that matter? What a waste of money. So I go all in. I go, I go commando. Well, I'm not commando. I don't go commando. Some of my clients have gone commando on me sometimes. Ugh. Not joking either. But I go all in on making sure to sell as much as I can. Why they should get better coverage. Okay. Hey, John. John Alba, what's up? Any suggestions to how to best use EverQuote? Getting a lot of leads, but only can get through. That's probably typical. The problem with internet leads is they're more sophisticated. They screen heavily. A lot of those leads are shared. And somebody who's requested information online has been called before, and they're likely to be people who request information again, like through your lead. Everybody who's worked Facebook leads generally, and that's kind of the most common lead source that I deal with and other agents and final expense deal with. It's a very similar complaint. What's the solution? Go drop in on them unannounced. That's really, really it. You've got a door knock to get the most ROI out of your leads, and that means showing up. Most people will answer the door, much more so than they answer the phone these days, unfortunately. Okay, FFL, protect what matters. Last question, does your company generate your own leads, or do you use an outside vendor? For example, MailPro needs your upline to sign off for BPL leads. Do you support and sign off on something like? Yes, I'll tell you what I do. You can use these whether you work with me or whether you don't. Exception to telemarketing, you got to work with me there. But here's how it works. For direct mail, if you're in most states, you want to look at needalead.com. They have an excellent fixed price lead program that you should highly consider. Why do you need a fixed price lead? Because response rates vary from zip code to zip code. Nobody can tell you with complete accuracy if you're going to get back 10 cards, 20 cards, or 5 cards off of 1,000 mailer. So why not fix the prices to keep some kind of security or level of security? I think that's good. You know exactly what you're going to spend. That's the key. Alternatively, in some states that are better response rate states, and you feel free to ask me if your state is, if this fits you, I like Lead Concepts. I like their Walmart gift card mailer. And basically, it's the card that I like says life insurance on it 3 times. It just says, send this back for a free gift card to Walmart. I found that both the response rates were good and the quality of the response is good. Now, a lot of people hate that card. I get it. A lot of people will play prospect. They'll pretend to be interested just to get that gift card. So it is something you've got to deal with or learn how to deal with. Facebook vendors, Cody Askins does leads, as you guys probably already know. SecureAgentLeads.com. I like tipstricksandclosers.com. I've done business with them as far as referral basis with my agents for probably the last year. Good service, good turnaround on leads, decent quality. I'm not a big fan of Facebook leads, especially when you've got direct mail or our telemarketed lead that we have in-house. We had an agent, brand new agent, write $11,000, almost $12,000 premium off of 40 telemarketed leads. It was great. And they're legit telemarketed leads. Somebody calling and talking and converting. And they're $12.50 a piece. That's crazy. So I like those a lot better. And part of the reason, I've talked about this on other videos, Facebook, internet marketing in general is so saturated. There's a ton of players in the space trying to get seniors to reply to burial insurance. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, just through all the people I talk to. And what that does is it bids up the price of the leads. There's only so much real estate on your phone that you can place an ad before they click off. And what Facebook does to maximize revenue, what do? They show you ads, and then if you click on an ad, what are they going to do? They're going to show you another ad that's similar to it because it's likely you'll click on that too because it's a similar type of topic. So what does that translate to? That means that your clients who click on a Facebook burial insurance ad are going to see another one, and the clickers are more likely to click, okay? That's a complete truism. I saw like a study that it was like 85% of clicks on a banner ad came from 2 out of 10 of the 20% of the population. So that's the problem. And Facebook's really good about doing that. And there's a lot of competition right now, a lot of competition in Facebook. But guess where there's not? Telemarketing. It's not nearly as much as it used to be. So you don't want to follow the crowd here, I think is the example. So we do the telemarketing leads. It's for my agents only. I like the program a lot. I don't think it's magical or anything. Look, you're going to have good runs. You're going to have bad runs, just like any lead program. But the quality is good and it's affordable. That's the big thing. Omar, thank you, David. I'm an instructor for agents that want to get life license in Texas in case you need anything. Great. Okay. Oh, man. I told my wife I'd be done in 30 minutes. We're at 50 minutes now. Oh, boy. Okay. Ready to join. All right, Dennis. Yeah, man. Stop on by and come on down for a conversation. Be happy to talk to you. Okay, Yogi Bear, what license do you need to join your agency? Just a life insurance license or a health insurance license if you want to do Medicare. That's it. The only other thing I need, and it's important, is you need to invest in yourself. You have to be willing to take a risk on yourself. You have to be willing to put money into some leads and take a chance. I'm not going to sit here and say there's any guarantees in this business. A lot of you doing this business that are brand new are going to fail. Statistically, 9 out of 10 do. So you want to make sure that you're willing to take that chance. There's a lot of reasons why people fail. Bad training, bad agency, bad mindset, not enough leads, not enough people to talk to. We try to remedy as much as that as possible, but you have to understand the business style or the business strategy I teach is you have to invest your money as a business would into the costs of what's required to do business. A restaurant has to buy food, it has to buy ingredients, it has to pay its employees. If you went cheap on that or you just stiffed them, you wouldn't have a restaurant, right? You have to have all these components first before you serve the dish and get the ticket and process the sale, right? It's the same thing in this business, just a lot simpler. Buy leads up front, get them, work them, make money, repeat the process over and over again. So that's my other requirement. And as far as how much that is, it depends on the programs. You can check out my website, click Join Dave's Agency for more information on that. All right. Rob the Handsome, message retracted, no problem. We need a commando moments video. You do not want commando moments in the final expense business. Let me see. Can I remember? I've seen a lot of women that wear see-through muumuus. Oh, that's. I think I've seen some naked babies running around. It's just really disturbing. Not babies like 5-year-olds. That's one house. That's really weird. I saw a guy who peed his pants. He was so drunk. I promise there's actually opportunity in this business besides laughing at somebody else's expense, as far as financial opportunity. So, Alicio, hey, what's up? Social Security pay. Please expand on that so I can answer better. Ben, about the Walmart gift card. Some of them never even ask for one. Yeah, definitely. Rob the Handsome says, David, I just want to really say that I like the seminar training as another option to start. Absolutely, yeah. So I do seminar marketing really for final expense, and I ask for a small investment of $300 to pay for it, but I give the money back to my agents after they write 5 deals. And the only reason I ask for the money is to get some skin in the game. I really think psychologically we all perform better when there's something worth losing, right? Like our money, we're not going to get back. And that moves us into a position where we're either going to just buckle and fold, or hopefully you'll rise to take action, okay? Adversity is a strength. It is what makes us stronger, okay? And, you could say risk is a potential for adversity. Joel, what's up? Hey, you said you go commando. Great way to finish the day. Notice, guys, you only see what's above the waist. Do I need to go below? Oh, no, we don't want to do that. So, yes, which one? 1250 lead. That's the telemarketed leads that I have. You play video games? Yes. All I play now, occasionally, not religiously, is Doom 2. Doom. You young people probably don't know what that is. It's probably the best first-person shooter ever made. I don't have the attention span to sit through a video game anymore. I don't know what happened. I got old. I want results now. So I like playing those because they're fast-paced. And it's just a fun game. Just, what you grew up in childhood. Used to play a lot of role-playing games. Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo. I was like that. I was a nerd, right? So, but not really anymore. Dr. or DC RP Mathis. TM leads only for your agency? Yes. I don't currently sell them outside of the agency. We just historically haven't done that. I'm not opposed to it. But right now, my main concern, of course, are my agents. I want to make the vast majority of my income off of their production sales, so I want to offer them the best options with as least competition as possible. How do you spell the lead vendor you mentioned? Needalead.com. Hey, Dave. Okay, tell Mom I'll be there in a second. I'm live streaming right now.
Really?
Yeah. Close the door. As best as you can. Okay. Time to eat. Okay, good timing. Needalead.com. Needalead.com. John Alba. Could you comment on less expensive but low intent versus more expensive but higher intent? I'm thinking I made a mistake. I don't believe in that stuff. I do to an extent, but it sounds really good. The key is just to buy enough of the leads that you're working and work the crap out of them so that you can hit your production goals, really your activity goals. Again, hearkening back to earlier, what kind of production goals or activity goals should you have? 15 appointments completed every single week. If you can do that, no matter what leads you're working, low intent, low cost, high intent, high cost, it doesn't matter. And ultimately, the only way that you're going to figure this out is by testing, okay? Like we can sit here and ponder if telemarketing is going to be better for you than direct mail, or is EverQuote better than Cody Askin leads. Buy some leads. 50 to 100 is a good starting point. See how they perform for you. I have taken agents off of direct mail and put them on telemarketing because of where they are is a much more difficult market. So I say direct mail is king, but I'm not an idiot to argue with results. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So I don't argue with results. And be open-minded to that. You want to be kind of closed-minded, but also open-minded, if that makes any sense. Do what has been proven to work. But if you find it doesn't work for you, that's good. Now you can try something else and experiment to find the right mix, the right leads. Yes, old school. Man, I'm old school. The TM leads are $12.50. What's the minimum quantity to order? It's like 30, so it's like $3.75 for 30. Need a lead, got it. Okay, all right. I think that is the end of the show. I can't help but to also promote, once again, for you late arrivals, please go to this website. I am doing a one-day convention training extravaganza on all things insurance, different topics, different speakers. Las Vegas, May 29th. Orlando, Florida, June 26th. The price right now for the ticket is $75 for my agents and $125 for my non-contracted agents. Those of you guys who just watch my stuff but aren't a part of my agency. I'm keeping it purposely cheap because I just want to make enough money and revenue from sales of tickets to cover my costs, the rentals, the paying for the speakers, the open bar that we're going to have at the end of the day on the convention, in order so I can see you guys, meet you firsthand, and give you a great show, give you great training to become successful at selling insurance. So please go there, put that in. Yes, Norma, I will. I'm probably going to do Dallas sometime next year. It might be August or September, October. I'm definitely coming to Dallas, though. That is on the schedule to do. Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I might, Rob, I live in Chattanooga. I did a convention, little get-together. I'm probably going to do one in Chattanooga, but I've been thinking about maybe coming to Charlotte or Atlanta. It's a lot easier to travel to both of those cities than it is to Chattanooga. It's a connecting flight deal, kind of deal, and it's more expensive. Yeah, California, that's why I'm going to Vegas, just kind of get people to go there. California might be, I don't know, maybe Las Vegas, no, Los Angeles. I don't know. We'll see. I want to, as we go along, probably see me ask you, like, where do you want me to be? Where would you go to try to help me pick what's best for everybody? So you're welcome, Yogi Bear. Anytime I can help. Other than that, guys, if I can ever do anything for you, no joke, I'm very reachable. Go to davidduford.com, click the contact button, and every single message that is sent, I read, okay? So if you have any questions, concerns, anything about our conversation today that is interesting, appealing, and you want to learn more, then go to davidduford.com, click the contact link, send me a message. Let's talk. I respond to my emails typically in 24 hours, and if you'd like, we can set up an appointment to talk. All right, everybody. Yeah, I know the Northeast, yeah. I'm not doing the Northeast until summer, so it might be till next year. I used to live in Boston for 3 years. Remember the first year, the snow started in November, and it didn't go away till April. And I'm from Tennessee. I was like, this is crazy, man. And it was cold, too. Anyways, stuff that you're used to. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, got to go eat. Dinner time. Take care. See you.